Welcome back, Curry Crew. Today we have a delicious recipe for you. So today we're making Malpua and Rabdi, and it is super delicious, but it also comes with a really fascinating background. So Malpua was first mentioned in the Rig Veda, which is one of the 4 Hindu Vedas written very long ago in 1500 BCE. So this officially makes it the oldest dessert in all of India. Now, of course, over time it has gotten very different variations and different recipes throughout history. However, one thing remains true is that it is super delicious and one of my favorites. So I'm not going to delay it any further. Let's jump right into the video. So guys, we're going to start making our Malpua and Rabdi. So first we want to start heating up our milk. So we want to make sure that our milk is not cold when we start using it for our batter, or else it's going to result in a lot of clumps in the batter when we start mixing it in. So in a large mixing bowl, take 2/3 cup of whole wheat flour. Next, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of almond flour. And this is going to add a really nice nuttiness to our batter and our final dish. Then we're going to add in 1/3 cup of semolina flour. And then we're also going to add in 1/4 cup of milk powder. Give this all a nice little mix, and these will be the majority of our dry ingredients that we're going to use. Next, we're going to take 1.5 teaspoons of fennel seeds, and we're going to place them in a mortar and pestle and give it a quick crush, and then we're going to add it into the mixing bowl. Now we're going to repeat the same process with 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom seeds. However, after we give them a rough crush, we are going to add in 1/2 of the crushed powder into the mixing bowl. The other 1/2 we're going to use in our Rabdi later on. So when we start adding in our warm milk, we're going to do it a little bit at a time while continuously whisking. All in all, we're going to use 1 1/4 cup of warm milk in our batter, and we want to keep whisking our batter, and we want it to be as smooth as possible and free of all lumps that are in there. Now, we're going to set this aside for about 20 minutes to about half an hour while we work on the rest of the components of our dish. So with the rest of our milk, we're going to start making our Rabdi, which is kind of like a sauce that's going to go on top of our Malpua or our pancakes. So we're left with 1.5 cups of warm milk in our pan, and we will use this for our Rabdi. Into this pan, we're also going to add in 12 ounces of unsweetened condensed milk, and we're going to give it a nice little mix. And then we're also going to add in the remaining cardamom that we had crushed earlier. Next, we're going to take a pinch or 2 of saffron, and we're going to crush it in our mortar and pestle. And once that is done, we're going to add it to our milk and give it a nice little mix. We will then shift our Rabdi mix onto the other part of our stove, and in another pan we're going to start prepping our sugar syrup. So we're going to wait until the milk mixture thickens up a bit before we add in our sugar, because the sugar also is going to release some water into it later on. So we wanted to make it thicker first and then add in our sugar. In another pan, add 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar and give it a nice stir. Eventually we want this syrup to reach a consistency of honey. So make sure to keep stirring your milk in between, because you don't want any of it stick to the bottom of the pan and start burning, or else your Rabdi will taste burnt and become ruined. So now we're going to take another pinch of saffron and we're going to crush it, and then we're going to add this into our sugar syrup and give it a quick stir. Then once it has cooked and reaches a honey-like consistency, we will take it off the heat for a bit to allow it for it to cool. Then we're going to add in our sugar to our Rabdi. So we're going to start with 1/4 cup. We're going to taste, and then we're going to add more if needed. Once we have added in our sugar to our Rabdi, then we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom seeds into a mortar and pestle. We're going to crush them, and then we're going to add that into our cooled sugar syrup. Give it a nice little mix, and now it's time to fry up our Malpuas. So into a pan goes 1/3 to about 1/2 cup of ghee on a medium to high heat, and we're using our homemade ghee. If you want the recipe, the link will be in the description, and it can also be above if you want to click on it and check it out. Make sure to keep stirring your Rabdi in between, you don't want it to burn. While our ghee heats up, add 1 teaspoon of rose water into our sugar syrup and give it a nice little mix. Once our ghee is hot, you can test if it's ready to fry by dropping a small droplet of your batter into it and seeing if it floats to the top. If so, it's ready. If not, wait a few more minutes. Next, take a ladle of your batter and drop it into your oil, and we're going to start frying it. Once you see the edges change color to a nice golden brown, that's when you know it's time to flip it onto the other side. We're going to cook it for a few minutes on both sides until they are nice and golden brown, and then we're going to take it out of the pan and we're just going to drain the oil a little bit and then drop it into our sugar syrup. This will allow for the malpua to soak up all of the syrup and the amazing flavors that we've incorporated into it. Leave the malpua in the syrup until the next one is cooked, and then you're going to replace the one that's in the syrup for the newly cooked one. By the time you are done cooking all of the malpuas or the pancakes, your rabdi should also be done, so you can turn off the gas for both and then you can start plating up your dish. So take a few of your pancakes and you can stack them on top of each other, and then we're going to top them with the amazing rabdi sauce that we have made, and then you're going to also top with some crushed cardamom seeds, and then finally we're going to add some shaved almonds as well. And there we have it, guys. Our dessert dish is ready for us to dig in. And I can't do it, guys. I can't stare at this any longer. I need to taste it. So guys, it's time to taste our delicious creation that we have made. We have our amazing malpuas. We have our amazing rabdi on top. I sprinkled some almond flakes and some cardamom seeds on top. I can't wait because it smells amazing. So if it tastes as good as it smells, it's going to be awesome. So I'm just going to dig in, grab a nice bite. Oh man. As you can see, I'm doing more eating than talking because of how delicious this is. This is to die for. That's how amazing this is. I am at a loss for words to describe this. I have no idea how to describe this because unless you try it for yourself, words cannot do this justice. So you need to make this at home. You need to try it out, and you're going to be in heaven like I am right now. So make this at home, get your food heaven, and keep on cooking.